Excellent.
Happy Saturday, everybody. My name is Heir Samurai. Welcome to the Heir Samurai brand. All right, so today we're going to be talking about how to make the best build for you. Not a build that you see somebody make online or whatever it is, but the best build that you can make for you. Now, I know the game's been out for a while. A lot of people have made build videos and different things like that. I'm going to be talking about my philosophies on it because the other day, I watch a lot of stuff that happens in the community. The other day I was looking at a video by this one guy, and I'm not gonna call anybody out or say anything like that because this ain't that kind of channel. You know what I mean? Like, this is a channel about positivity, about, you know, self-confidence, self-growth, having fun, you know, and feeling like it's Saturday, which is the reason why I say happy Saturday every single time I make a video. So with that being said, I was watching a video by this guy, and he was basically going on this rant about 2K and about how he gave up on the game because of, you know, his my player can't do this and it can't do that and all this kind of stuff, and his my player can only do this one particular thing, right? And to myself, I'm thinking, you know, I'm not a 2K apologist by any stretch of the imagination, right? There's a lot of issues with this game this year. There's a lot of stuff that needed to be fixed. There's still a lot of things that need to be fixed, even now, right? There's a lot of different things from a standpoint of like your progression and your badges and this and that and all that kind of stuff that needs to be faster. I think the game speed right now in the park is way too slow. It does not feel as good as my career, different things like that. I've adjusted, but obviously I feel like that's one of the things. But this is my thing, right? Everybody that plays this game on a serious note or a serious level, not even a serious note, everybody that plays this game every single year knows that there are certain people that when something is jacked up about 2K or the game in general, the first thing they do is they blame 2K. They don't look at themselves and say, man, I messed up, or I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done that. They blame 2K, right? The game is the game, right? There are certain things in the game that, you know, in order for us to get better at them, we got to learn how to do it. But the game is the game at the end of the day. And I just said that to say, you cannot blame 2K for you having a my player that can't do what you wanted to do, because you can build your my player the way you want to this year. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff about it being limited and all that kind of stuff, to a degree, I get that. I don't think we're ever going to get the players back, because my favorite my player was the 2K15 my player. I loved my build in that. I think I was like an athletic shooting guard. I could do it all. I could shoot 2s, 3s. I could dunk on you. I could chase down block you. I could dribble past you. You know, like I could post you up. There was nothing that I couldn't do. We probably will not get those players back, right? Because it's a new day and age, and we can't keep living in the past. But what we can do is try to go further and forward with what it is we have and try to get improvements on the game and get stuff just better. Like I said, I'm not an apologist for 2K and a myriad of problems that have happened or that have come up since the game came out. You know, even with it trending on Twitter, fix 2K20. But what I am saying is that a lot of people complain about stuff that's not on 2K's fault, and that part of it is annoying, right? Because I put it to you like this, right? I love basketball. I love hooping and that kind of thing, right? I might have said this in my other videos or something. I don't get a chance to go out every single day and get out to LA Fitness and do this and that, right? In order to be able to, like, you know, play people and, like, you know, really do my thing. So I get on this, and this is kind of like a pseudo like version of, you know, like playing through an avatar or whatever it is. I know it's not me, but it's like a pseudo version of it, right? My thing is this, right? When you really love basketball and you get to a point and stuff where you don't want to keep going out there risking injury or like hurting your knees and different things like that, there was one point in time, man, I thought I was gonna have to hang it up because my knees were aching so bad because of the type of crossover that I like to do, which is that Derrick Rose crossover where he crossed Andre Iguodala. I mean, not Andre Iguodala. Dang, I forgot that guy's name. He was on the Sixers. Anyway, he crossed that guy, Andre Miller. Sorry, Andre Miller. He crossed Andre Miller, And I learned how to do that crossover. Well, what I found out from doing that crossover for a couple of years, I probably did that crossover like maybe 2 to 3 years in a row. That crossover puts a lot of pressure on your knees because it's a hard right and it's a hard left. So it puts a lot of pressure on your knees. So being able to play 2K kind of gives me the ability to still play and still hoop, but just on a video game. And you know, it's got its problems. But this whole gripe and stuff with people talking about the myplayer, you know, building a myplayer and their myplayer can only do one thing. Look, man, that's on y'all. Because you got to understand the fundamentals of basketball in order to be able to build a player that can do the things that you want it to do. You know, who is your favorite player? Did you build your player like that? You know, were you more worried about certain things in the game than you were with others? It's just, it's some of this stuff we got to start taking accountability for and questions for ourselves, as opposed to always blaming 2K. Let me plug this in real quick. Make sure the laptop don't go down. All right, so the reason why I got this open right now is because I want to show y'all something. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my 94 overall playmaker. I'm almost there to 95. I'm going to show you the attributes of my 94 overall playmaker, slashing playmaker. So you know, you'll see what it is I'm talking about when I say you have to build your player a certain way. And then I'm actually going to go into the my player builder. I'm going to show y'all what it is I'm talking about from the standpoint of building your player the way you want to build them. Now, this person in particular, the reason why I'm making this video as well too, because this person was basically trashing the slashing playmaker. And I'm like, I have that build and I love this build to the point where I don't feel like I need to rebuild it. Like if I did rebuild it, I would probably only switch my defensive rebounding with my block rating. But other than that, and y'all see me out here looking like Super Saiyan Gohan fighting Cell. But you know, that's the only thing that I would probably change on my player. But I put my defensive rebounding up, maxed it out, because with that I would get 6 defensive badges. And I wanted to make sure that I had a certain amount of badges because I wanted to be able to make sure that I had certain things to be able to compete out here, especially against dribble guys and sharps that zigzag behind screens. So here we go. So we're gonna go to progression, right? Look at my stats, okay? 90 close shot, driving layup, high, driving dunk, high, standing dunk, pretty high. I think I maxed that out at a 65. 73 mid-range, 63 three-point shot, 82 free throw. Look at these stats. I got an 83 ball handle, okay? I built this player to do what it is I wanted to do. I wanted to put my interior defense. Unfortunately, I was not going to be able to get the points the way that I wanted to if I did, so I didn't do that. But look at the way I built my player. Everything that is important to me on the court is maxed out or got pushed up. All of my finishing stuff got pushed up except for post hook. All of my shooting stuff got pushed up. Even my post fade got maxed. My pass accuracy and my ball handle got maxed. My post move only went up 3 points because that gave me an extra playmaking badge. My post move only went up like 3 points. Then over here, even though I wanted to put my interior defense up, I didn't. But I'm trying to use the badges and like my, you know, how I time things to like kind of supplement that. But even that got pushed up. And then you see, not interior defense, but my perimeter defense. Lateral quickness maxed out, steal maxed out. My block, which is the one thing that I wish I had of max instead, is not maxed. But then my defensive rebounder goes to a 76, which is maxed out right now. So all of these things that were important to me, I maxed out. I didn't leave stuff to chance. I think people were thinking about building their players the wrong way. Like if you have a slasher and all you can do is dunk, that's on you because you built your player the wrong way. You got to think, bro. Look at it this way, right? If you build a slasher, right, and people can see that name on your player when you build your player, right? How do you think you're supposed to get to the rim all the time? Think about it. Like, really think about it. How are you supposed to get to the rim? There's no way that you're going to just be able to get to the rim and just dunk the ball every single time. You might, if you like nice like that. I know probably there's some people out there that probably can do that. But the fact of the matter is that you got to understand basketball and the concept of basketball. When a person knows your strengths and they know your weaknesses, they can guard you accordingly. People back off of me all the time because they think that I can't shoot. Guess what? I can, even with a slashing playmaker. So, you know, you can't build your player like in this ridiculous way and then be mad at the game and say the game is boring because I can only do one thing. That's on you. So, like I said, man, you know, and then too, I was really thinking this thing through before the game came out. I looked through everything when it came to the game, right? And I said to myself, okay, I know that I'm gonna want this, and this badge for my finishing, this and this for shooting, this and this for ball handling or playmaking and so on and so forth, right? Once I knew that, then I made the proper adjustments to what it was that I was trying to do, right? And I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. Look at my spread for what I get. 21 finishing, 13 shooting, 21 playmaking, 6 defensive, okay? I planned this out before I made my player, right? I looked at this and I was like, okay, I know that I'm playing the 2 guard. So when I play the 2 guard, I know I'm gonna run into 2 things when I'm out there. First of all, I'm gonna have the hardest matchups on the floor every single time. I'm gonna be guarding all the dribble guards, and I'm gonna be guarding all the sharps that want to zigzag behind screens and do this, you know, crazy stuff in the shot creators, right? So I said to myself, all right, with gathering the information that I've gathered from Twitter, articles, and, you know, watching some stuff in 2K TV, even though 2K TV is not nearly as helpful as it could be, but that's another conversation. But, okay, so I thought about all that, right? And I hear Mike Wing talk about how much he loves the new clamps badge. That's a key. Listen to what these people are saying. He said he loves the new clamps badge. Why does he love the new clamps badge? Probably an important thing, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, when I'm doing my myplayer testing, what's the highest I could get clamps on? Gold. So guess what? Before I even picked out my thing, I wrote down a 3. So I put out the 4 categories and I wrote down a 3 and I put clamps next to it. I put 3 next to clamps because I'm like, if nothing else, I have to have this badge. I had to decide what badges I wanted on what tier before the game even came out. So when the game came out, I was like, and it's not about like being like, well, how can you know? How can you know? How can you know? Depending on if you've played this game before, which a lot of y'all have, if you're at the 1, the 2, or the 3, you're going to guard the dribble heads. That's gonna happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So you can't be out there thinking that it's cool for you to be a slasher and you dunking on everybody, but then you can't guard nothing. So in order for me to guard, I felt like putting clamps on gold would help give me a better opportunity to be able to shut down a lot of the stuff that I see, which for the most part it has. I really haven't been out there getting dropped off like that. My park record is pretty solid. My Pro-Am record, or my rec record, and my 3v3 Pro-Am record is not that great, but that's because with the 3v3 Pro-Am, I didn't care about that anyway. We were just running there just to test it out because, you know, once you go in there, it is toxic city with the stretches and the, you know, just everybody doing a wrap around and people getting stuck on each other and all that kind of stuff, which you're supposed to switch everything. I understand that, but that's another conversation. But with the rec and stuff, you know, I played like 2 games with my old crew. I played a couple of games with like random people, and sometimes I walk in there by myself. So obviously I'm not going to be able to compete with people that actually have solid full teams that are ready to go. But like I said, you have to think these things through before you make your player. What is it that you're going to be up against? Clamps on gold. Okay, so then after that, I started looking at the rest of the badges, okay? You got box, brick wall and stuff. I'm not going to be in the paint like that grabbing rebounds. You know, so I'm not even looking at the rebounding badges. The badges I'm looking at, okay, what other defensive badges can I use in order to make it harder on dribblers and harder on shooters? Intimidator is going to knock down shot percentages. So that'd probably be a good idea to at least get on bronze, right? It'd probably be better to get it on gold. But when you take certain badges, you push them up in a certain area, you reduce badges in another area. And I didn't want to put myself in a predicament where literally I made a player and he was good on defense, but then the stuff that he's supposed to be good at, he can't do. So I didn't want to do that either. So I said, at the least, Intimidator on bronze. And the reason being is because the old defensive stopper badge, you know, originally it was defensive stopper and it stopped everybody. But then afterwards, the defensive stopper badge was like a combination of clamps and Intimidator. Now it's split up into 2 badges. So I feel like I'm pretty good at contesting shots and all that kind of stuff. So I said, okay, put it on bronze to start off with. Now, if it gets to a point in the game where people start playing me crazy, and they really start, you know, breaking me off and all kind of stuff, I will take pickpocket off, I will take chase down artist off, and I will go with gold intimidator and gold clamps. And that'll be what it is. And I won't be reaching, and I won't be chased down blocking those shots, but at least I'll be able to defend jumpers, and I'll be able to, you know, kind of put some sort of advantage on myself to help me guard dribble guards, right? So that's what I was thinking about. Intimidator on bronze, pickpocket at least on bronze, you know, just to test it out, and then chase down artist on bronze. And I know for a fact that chase down artist badge works really well on bronze because with my player's agility and speed and vertical, he is literally knocking people's stuff out the park if he can get to him. So that's what I was thinking the entire time. Now, I did have a couple questions. I was like, okay, what about pick dodger? Probably gonna need that. What about off-ball pest? Probably gonna need that, you know. But so far in the game, I haven't found myself having to use those or need those because of the style of defense that I play. You know, I play a certain style of defense where I'm not looking to try to steal a ball from you every single time or to try to harass you around the court. I'm basically gonna play more like it's football, and I'm gonna just play the zone of where it is you are. If you're trying to receive the ball, and then I can get a passing lane steal, or if you have the ball, I mean, depending on what kind of play style you play, then I'm gonna play my defensive play style according to that. So that's basically what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and then sometimes I have to deny the ball, but even with that, I don't feel like I need off-ball pests because I'm gonna keep myself in a good enough position in order to not get burned every single play. So that was the philosophy. The first philosophy was figure out what I have to have on defense. Because you can say all you want about this and that, and I got this offensive threat and blah, 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 blah. If you cannot guard anything and you play the 1 through the 3, you need to get rid of your player. I'm sorry to tell you, you need to get rid of your player. You need to start over. All right. So once I did that, right, I said to myself, okay, I'm a slasher. So from a basketball logic standpoint, right, how do slashers get to the basket? Think about it. Some of the best dunkers that you've ever seen and stuff like that, right? I'm not talking about Blake Griffin, Josh Smith, and people like that. I'm talking about LeBron. I'm talking about Jordan. I'm talking about Kobe. You know, I'm talking about D-Wade and all that kind of stuff. Even though D-Wade wasn't a great three-point shooter, he could knock him down. I've been to a couple of Heat games. He can definitely knock him down. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, what am I going to do, right? And then I said to myself, all right, let's do this first. When I was doing the build, right? And I'm finna show y'all this when I go into the build, actually. I said, let's put up mid-range, 3-point, and free throw. That only gave me a certain number of badges. I knew as a slasher that if I was really gonna go out there and make an impact, that I had to have as many shooting badges as this build would allow me to have. The reason being is because slashers are more deadly when they can shoot. So if you're lightning fast and you can shoot, you're almost completely unguardable. Why would you build a slasher or a player with slashing in it and not think about your jumper? That makes no sense. Like, you literally telling me that your knowledge of basketball isn't very high by building a player that can get to the basket and dunk on anybody, but he can't shoot. That's ridiculous. Y'all remember Josh Smith getting booed in playoff games in Atlanta because he couldn't shoot? Come on, think about this. You know? So, let's go here first. For my shooting badges, I said, okay, what I'm going to get, okay? Once I found out that quick draw was absolutely necessary, I had to factor that in, right? So, even though it says I have potentially 13 shooting badges, I really only got 11. So, quick draw, silver. Right now, I got Deadeye on silver. Difficult shots, silver. Range extender, right? I thought about this. So if I only got 11 badges after quick draw and stuff, okay, what am I going to do? Like, what are going to be my other badges? I got to have difficult shots on goal. Because as a slasher, I'm going to be burning people a lot, and I'm going to need to be able to create that space to be able to get off drifters and stuff like that, or spin shots. I love a good spin shot and a step back shot and all that kind of stuff, right? So I got to have difficult shots on goal. Then if I'm going to have difficult shots on goal, no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to have Deadeye on goal. Deadeye has to be maxed out. The reason being is because it doesn't matter how much space I create or whatever it is. If someone contests, I need to be able to get a good enough look at the basket where they're not affecting me like that. Had to have Deadeye on goal, right? So that's 6 badges right there with difficult shots and Deadeye on goal. Then after that, I was like, okay, as a slasher, what's gonna make me more deadly? Being able to stretch the floor. So range extender. I've tested range extender out on 2 different categories right now, bronze and silver. I haven't tested on gold yet, but I'm gonna test it on gold. But what's gonna probably end up happening is I'll probably go with range extender on silver or gold. Right now I'm thinking silver, because when I put it up to, even when it was on bronze, it was fine. I was still cashing out. So I got a little bit of a dilemma there. But then if I got this, and this, right? And this is 2. So what does that leave me with? 6, 8, 10. So that leaves me with 3 badges. Then what am I gonna get next? Probably catch and shoot, because it activates anywhere, and not corner specialist, because corner specialist, as you can see, whether it's off the dribble or off the catch, but I don't want to be confined to one area, because then people start guarding their area. I'd much rather take my chances with difficult shots on goal, Deadeye on goal, and catch and shoot. Now, once I get all my hot spots, then catch and shoot will probably turn to hot zone hunter, which is what I've been hearing a lot of people say that's really good, but I have to wait and see. I haven't seen it yet. Probably go to hot zone hunter. It's probably not gonna go to green machine unless I have all of my hot zones. That's probably the only time that it would go to green machine, is if I had all my hot zones. Because if I have all my hot zones and I put this on green machine at gold, so I got difficult shots gold, green machine gold, Deadeye gold, quick draw silver, range extender silver. Now, when I get out on the court, when I create that space and I hit 2 greens back to back, now the floodgates are open. You know, but you got to think about these things when you're building your player. What's going to make me more deadly? Dunking is only good if you can get to the rim, but in order to be able to get to the rim, you got to be able to fool the defense and thinking that you can do other things better. So they have to come out further to guard you so you can blow past them. That's basic basketball knowledge, you know, and you can't blame 2K for you building an inadequate player. You can't do that. You got to make these decisions. You got to get in here, hit Y, read these badges, you know, take an educated guess, watch some YouTube videos, you know, take an educated guess on what it is you're going to need, but quit trying to make these 7'3" demigod players that can dribble like Steph Curry, dribble like Allen Iverson, shoot like Steph Curry, block shots like Mutombo, dunk in the paint like Shaq, you know what I mean? Chase down, block people like LeBron. Like, this is nonsense. And it's weird because a lot of people want this kind of stuff in the game. And it's loony. It's like loony bin type stuff. You know? Like, it makes no sense. But anyway, like I said, that's another video too. But then I thought about that for my shooting badges. Then I said my finishing badges, right? Because I'm going to get finishing and playmaking. I'm looking at this thing. Okay. Tested out contact finisher. Thought gold was good enough. Gold is good enough. But if you can get a Hall of Fame, it's different. It's real different. Then for me, I play 6'6" every single year. So I want a Giant Slayer. Because I know a lot of big dudes like to camp in the paint and just sit there. So I needed this badge. I found out that when I got this badge, that gold is good, but Hall of Fame is different too. So I ended up getting on Hall of Fame, and then Slithery Finisher, which is one of the most slept on finishing badges in this game. Literally slept on. This badge on Hall of Fame does a lot. And technically, a lot of people don't know this, but Giant Slayer is, how do I put this? Giant Slayer is the slithery finisher for when you're around big men in a weird way, so to speak. You get different animations with this when big guys try to come and block you, and when you flying at the paint or they're trying to chase you down, you get different animations with Giant Slayer. The same way with Slithery Finisher, you get some of the smoothest, like most sexiest layups in the game based off of your layup package and stuff, of course, you know. But you get some of the smoothest, most sexiest layups in the game with something like Slithery Finisher. Then you've got Relentless Finisher, which I didn't think I would need at first. but it matters. It definitely matters. Because when Mike Wing said on Twitter, it affects how often you can go to the rim and stuff, it matters. I tried it out on Hall of Fame. I didn't see much of a difference between Hall of Fame and gold. I could be dead wrong, but I didn't see much of a difference, so I put it on gold. I got one more badge left. I had to get consistent finisher because for some reason, sometimes when I try to time my layups, I don't always green them, you know, or get slightly late or slightly early. So consistent finisher on gold, I found out, you know, even playing against other slashers and stuff, this badge is a must-have, consistent finishing. And then pro touch. So while consistent finisher is for poorly released layups, right? Bad layup timing and stuff like that, late, early, very early or whatever. Pro touch is the exact opposite. So now when I get to the basket, no matter what I do, I'm getting a boost for my layups, for my finishing, no matter what I do when I'm in the air. So if you don't block it, I'm getting a boost, which means I'm probably going to make that layup. Now, I really wanted Acrobat to be in there. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough badge slots for it. If I hit, I'm trying to hit Legend this year. Hopefully, if I hit Legend, I'll be able to get Acrobat. But it just is what it is. And even with fancy footwork, right? I think this badge is really good. But let me tell you something. Slithery finisher on Hall of Fame, especially based off your layup package, it allows you to do, if you jump in the right spaces, whether you do a Euro or you do a hop step, if you do it in the right space, you go past your defender, which fancy footwork like gives you longer hop steps and longer Euros and stuff like that, especially if people make contact with you. It allows you to like kind of travel a little bit and get past them, which is kind of weird, but that's what it does. But slithery finisher will get the job done, because with slithery finisher, as long as you don't get stonewalled at the basket, when you get to the basket, if you release it late, you get a boost. And if you release it slightly early, slightly late, or excellent, you get a boost. So as long as you don't get blocked, you're getting a boost on your finish, which is the reason why I built this player the way I built him. Then from there, 21 potential playmaking badges, right? Quick first step, Hall of Fame. Obviously, that's no need to explain. Everybody has that badge that dribbles this year in the game. Downhill. This was a badge that at the start, I was not particularly sure that I would want, right? I didn't know if I would want downhill. But once I started to upgrade and I put it on Hall of Fame and I saw my player was flying, if you don't have chase down artists on a certain level, you're not catching me. I have not been chase down blocked all year by anybody when I get the ball. My player is a human, he's a blur. You're not catching me. So it was worth it to me to get the 4 points on it. I got handles for days right now on silver. I'm about to upgrade it to gold. So that would be 14. I really want to try out stop and go and tight handles, because everybody keeps saying this is what you break ankles with, tight handles and stop and go. Obviously, I'm not going to have enough points to get everything, but this bad boy here, so what I'm going to do is I'm either going to put this to gold or I'm going to put it to Hall of Fame. If I put it to Hall of Fame, that would mean I would have 18 out of 21 badges. I would only have 3 badges left. And then I would have to decide between tight handles or stop and go. Now with stop and go, I haven't had a chance to test it all the way to see what it is, but I do like the fact that it says allows for ball handlers to start and stop quickly with unique stops and launches exclusive to this badge. That to me sounds like something that is really interesting for me, because a lot of getting past people and like doing your thing in 2K is change of speed, which I'm going to make a whole video on talking about how to really break people down with your dribble and stuff. And a lot of it's going to be very basic stuff. You're going to be like, what? But a lot of it is change of speed. You don't have to come out there and hit them with 15 combos in order to beat them. You know, you can literally change your speed on them and make them think you're going to go one way, get around them, and get a quick jumper or a quick, you know, drive and dunk at the basket. So stop and go, tight handles. That's what's pretty much left. I do want to get the bailout badge, because when I hop step, sometimes I do pass out of that. And I've also heard needle threader is good too. But after I do this here, I'm not going to have that many options left. I almost at one point in time thought about playing without handles for days, But handles for days does make a difference. And I've seen it myself. Like, I dribble way faster with handles for days, and I'm able to break people off a little bit quicker too when I'm trying to get around them. So handles for days on goal. I was thinking about getting on Hall of Fame, but it's good enough on goal. So we're going to confirm that. So that's how I built my player. I built my player to be able to do a little bit of everything. I didn't build my player one-dimensional. I built him able to do a little bit of everything. Like I said, if you look at my progression, I don't have a bunch on my block, right? So that means that I have to compensate for trying to block shots by doing stuff a different way. That's just what I have to do, right? And then when it comes to chase down block, the badge is going to give me that. Now, I could drop clamps down to silver and put in rim protector on and see if I get any more blocks or whatever it is. But clamps is so vital to me that I feel like I need it. Maybe even I could drop pickpocket, but I like having pickpocket on because I like to be able to like steal a ball at least once or twice from a guy and really have him afraid to dribble, so that way it makes my job easier on defense. He becomes more predictable if he's afraid to try out moves when he comes down the court again. So that's how I built my build, man. And if you look at it, when I get into a 94 and all that kind of stuff, I'm about to get my Gym Rat badge. I'm almost done in the playoffs. But you got to think these things through, man. You got to think these things through before you build your player. Like I said, 2K has enough faults on its own in terms of building the players. But if you think this stuff through, then you won't have near about as many of the problems that it is that you have when you play in the game. And also, too, while we at it, since I'm pretty much done talking about all that stuff, I'm going to go to my animations. And now at the end of the video, you're going to be able to see my animations and see what it is that I've got on my dude. Michael Jordan's default jumper, Kobe's free throw. My dribble style is Russell Westbrook. It was something about it. I really liked the way he stopped doing a dime in certain areas and stuff like that. Kobe Bryant size up package. Kyrie Irving layup. Kobe's dunks. And speaking of stopping on a dime, I'm probably going to go with stop and go, to be honest with you. I'm probably going to go with stop and go. Because when I put the Russell Westbrook package on, I did notice that when I was stopping, I had better control of my stops and movements and my left to right crossover going up the court, you know, or doing downhill or whatever it is. I had better control of it, so I'm probably going to do that. Kyrie Irving layup package, because I like the way that he finesses around people and gets certain things. Even though the Jamal Crawford might be the better layup package for him, I like the way Kyrie Irving moves. I don't know why there's Michael Jordan packages in the game. Somebody needs to tweet. I'm going to tweet at them actually and tell them they got to stop this nonsense with this Michael Jordan package, because this package, first of all, only slashers should be able to get this package, which I think is pretty much true. But then second of all, like, why is this package so useless? This package is not a good package. Even if you look at the animations in it, it's showing you, hey, a majority of the attacking with this package is going to be off the baseline. And everything else is pretty, like, vanilla, which is weird because we're talking about the greatest player ever. Mike Wang has a Twitter icon of, like, a kid's drawing of him with a Bulls hat on. And this is the layup package that you give Michael Jordan? Come on now. Come on, y'all. Come on. Y'all got to do better than this. Like, people, when it comes to finishing and stuff, right? People should be afraid of slashers, not just because they're slashers. They should be afraid of them because of the layup package that they have on. People should be afraid of this LeBron James layup package. People should be afraid of this Michael Jordan layup package. They should be afraid of the Kyrie and the James Harden and stuff too. But we're talking about, like, high flyers. People that get to the back, like, made a career off getting to the basket and doing acrobatic things. You've got to make these layup packages live up to it. I haven't really tried the LeBron. I don't need to be honest with you. But I know this Michael Jordan package is not good. And this Kyrie is the nastiest one because he switches hands and, like, it's really hard to predict when he's going to do certain moves at the basket. So I really love this package. Kobe Bryant's dunk package, because for some reason having an 88 dunk in this game is not good enough to get Michael Jordan's dunk package, which is ridiculous too. But Kobe's is good because I like these 180s that he has in here. A lot of times people jump early and they fly past this, so this is good. The Westbrook and stuff, I like it, but these cockbacks that you see in the beginning, it's just too much and they're going to be easy to get. when I'm trying to outrun somebody. So I'm not putting that on, because with the Kobe package, you do front clutches and you dunk the ball, which makes it harder for people to get from behind. Easier to get in front, but harder to get from behind. And then let's see here. Obviously, I got all the alley-oop packages on, the pro contacts, elite contacts, and small contacts. I like the fact that they made it so you didn't have to have the Lob City Finisher badge in order to catch alley-oops. I think that's ridiculous. I think the Lob City Finisher should help you be able to catch oops in traffic, but you shouldn't be restricted to that in order to catch oops if you already have an insane dunk rating, because that's a waste of a badge slot. So, you know, that just is what it is. Moving crossover 2, pro behind the back 5, which isn't actually that great. I might end up changing this. I got 5 and 6 right now. I haven't tried out 6, but I've been using 5 for years now. Moving spin, pro 4, pro hesitation 5. I like this a lot because the hop is quick when you go forward, and you can change directions and speed burst out of it quick. And then when you go to the side, you can also speed burst out of that pretty quick too. Pro 2 is the other one that I really love and I'm really in love with, but because I have downhill on, when I do a hesitation, I need to do my if I'm going to do a hesitation to beat one defender, I need to do it as quick as humanly possible and get on where I need to get to. Like this one here is more effective at freezing the defender, but it also allows people from behind you to catch up. So I thought 5 was the most effective one for me in my play style. Then I got triple threat style, normal 6. You know, that just is what it is. Normal 1 is probably, normal 1 and WNBA 2 are probably the best 2 in the game. This one, because he's automatically rocking, so people are going to get confused when they look at your player and they're trying to guard him. But I also like normal 1. Normal 1 is very quick as well. And then for my hop jumpers, Stephen Curry, just because I haven't found something that was better. And the dribble pull-up, Curry as well. So this is what I'm rocking with my player. And like I said, I built him a certain way to be able to do certain things. And to me, like I said, I understand a lot of the gripes that people have with 2K, but in my honest opinion, you cannot sit there and blame the game for something that you have complete, absolute control over. You know, the days of 2K15 and 16 are gone. We got to adjust to what it is we have now. I'm not saying don't speak up. Speak up. Say stuff on but when you got the game, if you're going to spend $60 in a game, you're going to spend another $50 on VC, and that's $110. And then plus another $20 to get you some clothes. You spending all this money on the game. Make sure that you're trying to do something within the game that's going to allow you to have fun. Don't just go out there and try to make some wild, crazy thing and then blame the game for the game not being what it is you wanted to be. The game was what it was when you bought it. It just is what it is. And, you know, we've got to speak up. We got to voice our opinion. Like I saw somebody saying the other day that stretch bigs should be buffed. That is a lie. They should never be buffed. They're at a good place right now. They're not dribbling up the floor crazy, getting past people. They're not chasing down, blocking shots. They're not dunking it in traffic on 3 or 4 people's heads. They're not shooting a ball in front of people's faces and stuff like that. This is the way that it should be. And their takeover should really technically only be activated from spot up shots. It should not be activated off anything off the dribble. Or, you know, obviously, you know, you're going to get some takeover for doing good things in the game. But it should be way less than it is off of spot up shots. Because when you make a sharp or when you make a stretch, you're telling everybody that's playing basketball with you that this is what your role is. This is what you want to do. You want to stand in one spot, or you want to go run around the screen, you want to catch the ball, and you want to shoot it. That is fine. But when you start out here dribbling like Allen Iverson and this and that and all this kind of stuff, and then you shoot from half court, like, you literally become unguardable because you stretch the floor so much. And that to me just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So like I said, I built my player a certain way. I am going to make a second part to this video because this video is almost 40 minutes now. I didn't even realize it was that long. I'm going to make a second part to this video. In the second part of it, I'm actually going to go into the My Player Builder. I'm going to show you guys exactly, like, based off of what it is you like, how it is you should build that build, and how it is you should think about how you're going to build that build. And it's important. Don't look at me crazy because the video is long. Look at me explaining and trying to get you to understand certain concepts so you can have fun with the game. That's what I'm talking about. And the game's got enough flaws, enough issues and all that kind of stuff, right? But if you're gonna play it, you know, try to do things that are gonna at least allow you to alleviate some of the nonsense that happens in the game so you can have fun with it. And also too, another way to really maximize your fun with the game, not only just your build, but this. Make sure that you find people to consistently play with. If you do not have people to consistently play with, this game is going to drive you up a wall. Remember that I said this. It's going to drive you insane. Make sure that you have people that you play with consistently, because that will alleviate a lot of headaches. Communication and playing with people that like playing with you, that is ultimately what's going to allow you to be able to do the things that you want to do on the court, have fun on the game, go on streaks, and get wins. But that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, in part 2, look for that, because I will be doing that next. I'll be going into my player builder, and I'll be putting it all out on the line and showing you exactly what it is. I'll start with the slash and playmaker first, and then I'll go to other builds and I'll show you what makes sense for them. Because in certain instances, if you can't get 21 finishing badges, you need to know what is it that you need in order for you to be able to get out with this build and actually dominate with this build. And I'm going to go through that in these videos. So until next time, be sure to check out the next one. But enjoy and happy Saturday.